Hello, Facebook. Okay, we're here again on a Saturday.
The spirit.
Saturday's a spirit. Welcome to the broadcast today. So we've got 3 cameras rolling today. So we've got a lot of action, a lot of people tuning in, which is a lot of fun. We like to come to you on Saturday mornings and share some wisdom with you and give you something that is valuable content. So just kind of round out your spirituality, your wisdom, your knowledge, something to bite your teeth into. Okay, so I'm Dallisa Hawking. I'm the CEO of Spirit and Spark. We are located in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we help clients all over the country. We do a lot of phone sessions as well. More and more of those are coming in, which is fun. Phone and in-person private sessions. We're psychic mediums, shamans, astrology, all kinds of fun stuff. So today's episode, we're going to dive into crystals, how to use them, what you can use them for, a lot of really great content. So if you're into crystals, you've always wondered what's the big fuss about crystals, this is the episode you want to watch. So I am so thrilled to be joined by Brandy and Nicole. I'm going to have them introduce themselves and just tell the viewers, why are you here? What are you doing here at this round table today?
I'm Brandy. I'm the shaman that works here at Spirit and Spark. I have some of my own collection that I brought here just to kind of give you an idea of how I started feeling energy. And usually people just start with using crystals. That's how they connect. That's one of their first tools to connect into spirituality and feeling vibrations. So that's why I was happy to bring mine.
And you were playing with an iron pyrite before we got started. And she kept saying, I think I'm going to buy this crystal. Yeah, I'm really feeling it. And then it broke and shattered in her hand. So it definitely wanted to go home with her.
A lot of energy in there.
A lot of energy in there, yeah. So we'll go over the crystals and talk about each one. And then we're going to go through parts of your life and give you recommendations on which crystals you will want to work with. We're also going to talk about oils and magnetizing crystals as well. So tell them a little bit about you.
So I'm Nicole. I am a psychic medium here at Spirit and Spark. I am a Reiki practitioner. I work with a lot of energy work, and I work with the frequency of oils on top of crystals and working that together.
Yay! We love that. I saw you brought one of your roller balls too. So if you've ever been into Spirit and Spark, you'll notice that there's roller balls and spray bottles, and so Nicole blends those all together. You're our apothecary.
Absolutely. I love plants and oils and crystals all together. How much better can that get?
I don't think much. Yeah. So, okay, if somebody is new to crystals or they think they kind of know how to use them, but maybe they're not quite sure, how do you get started with crystals? How do you use them? I mean, am I supposed to lay down and stick this guy on my chest or on the top of what do you say? How do you use crystals? I know it's a valid question.
It is.
Well, the way that if I have a client that's new to crystals and have no idea what to do or where to put them, or it's a lot of information, you can just have them in your aura. As long as you have them on your person and that vibration of that crystal, you have the intent of what you were told it was for, what the vibration is for. It's going to work on you no matter what. As long as it's in your aura and it's in your energy, it's going to make those changes.
Okay, so you don't have to really put it anywhere specific. I have noticed during some private sessions, somebody will lay on the table and they'll put different crystals at different parts of the body. Absolutely. So that would be part of that auric field and laying them in certain spots.
That's getting very specific. For a crystal stone chakra balance, you're going to have crystals for certain chakras directly on the chakra to be very specific. But if it's your personal crystal and you don't want to walk around. I know people make necklaces for the heart chakra because it's really close to the heart, or for the throat, or for anxiety, they'll just put an amethyst and wear it really close. But as long as it's in your aura, it'll work.
I have some stones and some crystals with the chakra symbols on them that I use and I place on people or next to them depending on their field of energy, and where they're accepting the crystal and how close I can get it to them, because obviously it magnifies just like it did with your pyrite, and that energy was just too much for that certain crystal sometimes. So it just I kind of gently get it into that auric field because it magnetizes. It's a computer and it also a battery. So it holds the knowledge and it holds the energy in it. And so it works with your auric field one-on-one.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. They do. They feel great. I mean, I don't know much about crystals. And it's funny, we just did an event at Zappos the other day, and we did this thing where you could text in the word expand to 33222, which you can do if you want to play along. But for Zappos, we did this thing where you could text in, and I had a bowl of crystals on the table, and I said, okay, you text in, show me you text in, and I'll give you a free crystal. So they'd pick a crystal out of this bowl, and they'd be like, so what is this? And I'm like, I have no idea. The lady in the crochet over there will know what it is. And so they would stand there and wait for Brandy. Yes. Because I have no idea. So I am learning along with you today as we do this crystal talk. But yeah, no, that's really helpful on how to use them. And you really can't use them incorrectly. We talked before we jumped on this morning about how you need to use your intuition to pick crystals, because we could show you the retail at Spirit and Spark and be like, hey, you might want to do a rose quartz if you need some self-love and really tap into the heart space. But you might reach for something like a citrine and that feels right for you. So you just have to do what you feel called to do. With crystals, I don't feel like there's a wrong answer, but there are suggested crystals you can use for different things you want to manifest.
Yeah, absolutely. They're definitely amplifiers of what you need. They're amplifiers of energy. Just like batteries, like you were saying, yeah, they have their own consciousness.
Absolutely. My first set of crystals was always, I started with a quartz. My first psychic vision that I will never forget, when I was younger, I had met Marcel Vogel, who does the Vogel cut crystal, and it's cut with just pure love and light. And he taught me just basically, and I still use this today, just working with simply the quartz and that magnification on your thought and your intent and that connection to the universe. And it's just such an awesome, and working here today, it brings back so many memories of how beautiful the intention can be and how it can magnify and intensify. I mean, we use it in our computers, we use it in technology. It just empowers so much around us that we're just not aware of.
Yeah. Okay, can we get into some specifics, or did you have another thought?
Well, she was on the subject of clear quartz, so I was just going to add to that.
Go for it.
Clear quartz is just a really amplification of your own energy. So if you wanted to just get to know your own energy better, clear quartz is actually one of the best ones just to amplify your own energy. So any quartz-based crystal, but it's very general. It's very open. It's very malleable.
So you could program it.
Yeah, I don't like to program.
You don't like, oh, okay.
But you can program.
With your intention, set the intention in there and that will magnify it.
Yeah.
That's how I was defining program.
A lot of people will program crystals.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
We won't get into that today. So you can magnify your thoughts with clear quartz. Okay, I want to go through different parts of your life.
Oh, sorry.
As Brandy's knocking over our crystals. And let's give specific examples of crystals you can use for different things that are going on in your life, okay? So for those people watching that want to make more money, they're like, I gotta pay those bills. What crystal would you suggest for money? I've got my cheat sheet here, but I want you to tell them.
Oh, well, the most common one is the citrine, which looks like this. This is a heat-treated citrine. Even this was actually originally amethyst. But either the sun or man will heat this very quickly and it gets to this yellow orangey color. This is great for manifestation for the solar plexus, and that's where you want to manifest, is right in your solar plexus.
So citrine.
Yep, and this is a natural citrine. This is naturally a very pale yellow. Yeah, and it's also for the solar plexus.
So does it matter if it's man-made or not? I mean, does it kind of diminish the value or energy of it if somebody's like lighting a torch to it?
No, it really does not matter. It's the energy of the crystal and the vibration of the color, because color is vibration, and that's why they do it, to get this color.
Okay.
So some people will look at this as like, I was drawn to this and I didn't even though I knew about the natural one, I was like, I just know that this is the one I'm meant to have.
Yeah.
And it was, and I didn't even care that it was heat treated. I was just like, it looks like a sun and it makes me happy. And I just giggled every time I looked at it. So I would hold it in my hand and it just I could feel it vibrating in my hand. So even though this is probably more expensive and it's more rare, this one is what made me happy.
And go with what makes you happy.
I keep mine in my purse. I keep a little citrine in my purse, and I keep tiger's eye. The tiger's eye, I put it with my lava beads on a bracelet, so I have it with me at all times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good deal.
You can use oils.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll talk about oils, in a little bit. I want to go through some of these specific crystals. And you also said for money, what was there a jasper that you'd recommend for that?
A jasper
or
for
root.
Yeah, a jasper for manifesting because it is in the solar plexus where it starts. But manifesting something that you want into the physical plane, that's bringing it down to the root chakra. So not forgetting to use crystals that resonate with the root chakra, which are red jaspers or a mookaite jasper what actually has yellow in it. So this is a mookaite skull. This is a jasper skull with all different kinds of jasper in one crystal. So you can use mookaite too for that.
Whew. There's a lot to learn.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure we have people out there watching that want to manifest love. Love, love, love. Yeah, pink. I mean, literally, if I know one crystal, okay, 2, 3. Okay, so it's always like citrine. You want joy. You want to manifest citrine. Okay, so I know that one. I also know that black crystals tend to be like clearing negative energy. And rose quartz for love. And that's like, and selenite. I know 4 crystals. But yeah, rose quartz I think is a great pick for just kind of turning on the love and heart energy. Mm-hmm. But anybody that I feel like a client I meet with that needs some practice with self-worth,
yes,
I always suggest rose quartz. So this is the beautiful point that we have here at Spirit and Spark. We have some of these. What else would you recommend? And is that a rose quartz as well?
This is actually a rough piece of rose quartz with a little bit of iron in it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Can't necessarily put that on your heart, but
no. But you would laugh. Actually, I
do you?
I keep this in my car.
Do you really?
I do. I keep it. I have one at home.
Is it buckled in?
No, but it's in the floorboard of my car.
Oh, okay.
And it stays there. It never causes any problems.
Awesome.
So, like, if I'm having a rough day, I look at my car as my office sometimes because I have all my crap in there.
And lots of
And
driving.
I'll just sit there in my car and be like, you know what? I'm not going to get out of this car until I get my SHIT together. And so sometimes I'll just hold my rose quartz and it helps.
You gotta send love out there. That's always the bottom line.
Oh yeah, do you want to reach for that guy? So that's our other pink crystal. They're tiny little pink morganite. Yeah.
So morganite and also kunzite is going to be a higher vibration of that love frequency. Rose quartz is a very soft energy for love. It's a very gentle energy. Kunzite, tanzanite, and morganite are going to be that really like higher frequency of it, where it really does amplify it a little bit more than rose quartz would, just so everyone knows.
Absolutely. And the color pink is love. So if you get into the colors, you get into the love and the self-care and the self-worth.
And this is pink tourmaline.
Yeah, pink tourmaline is extremely powerful. It's protective as well. So it's almost like if you want to protect a relationship or set protection around relationship, a lot of people will put that on like an altar with like a picture or something, you know. Another crystal I want to talk about love.
Love, okay.
We're on love is malachite, and this is not for the faint of heart. because if you're working on self-love and you have some deeply rooted issues that are keeping you from loving other people or loving yourself, it is going to pull it out like detoxification.
Okay, I'm just going to write it down for future reference.
Yeah, so if like I do know I mentioned this to somebody I used to work with, and she is just a lovely energy. I miss her. But she asked me, Brandy, what crystal can I use to help me with that? Because we did a session together, and she had some deeply rooted childhood issues coming up. And I said, malachite. I said, don't wear it when you're out in public because you're going to feel very vulnerable. It's going to bring up those old feelings. Wear it when you're sleeping. She wore it while she was sleeping, and then she would wear it all during the day, and then she'd go home and she said her cat ate it. Off of her, like I think it was either off of her neck or she woke up and her
Did the cat survive?
Yes. But it is very toxic too, so don't use it as an elixir.
Now the malachite, isn't that like is that the meteor? The one
No,
that's the meteor? Which one is that?
Well, that is another heart chakra stone. It's moldavite.
Moldavite, okay.
Moldavite is it's part of an I think it's part of an asteroid, or it's a volcanic glass from the outer space, and it hit Czechoslovakia.
That was the Tungite blast.
Yeah,
back
it's
in the
also
early
known
1900s.
as the Stone of the Holy Grail, and I wear it as a ring, and sometimes I have a pendant that I wear.
And that's moldavite.
And it's extremely high vibration.
Okay.
Yep.
And so that could help with love and maybe some digging out some deep stuff.
That is not one of the crystals I would start with, though, because you said for people who don't know about crystals, that would be something that I would go to after working with some lighter crystals.
Okay.
Because it will, if you're wanting to bring change into your life very quickly and have it like something that you want to accomplish in maybe 5 years, you want to accomplish it in 1 year, everything that's meant to happen is going to come up and amplify that change.
I need to redo
so
my house
quickly.
all in that.
Just build a house of moldavite.
Yeah, make sure that you're ready. When you sign up to wear moldavite, make sure you're ready to wear that.
Well, I'm Sagittarius, so it's either 0 or 100, so I'll take that right now.
I feel you.
Yeah,
I feel you.
I'm ready.
Fellow Sag, yeah. And romance we talked about, so just kind of going with the love theme for a moment. Anybody that wants like that romance stuff. We did talk about root chakra, which would kind of be going back to the red stones.
Yeah.
But also the point that we were making before we jumped on today was maybe there's a different crystal with a different chakra that's going to lend itself to what you need in order to create the romance in your relationship. So it's kind of one of those things that I would say approach whatever crystal's calling to you with your intention of building romance, maybe intimacy, connecting with someone else in a loving way, and see what you're drawn to.
But you got to love yourself first. You have to fill that void. It's huge, and that's what we do as spiritual workers, energy healers. We work with filling that toxic void. You have to get the bad out and fill the good, and love yourself before you can give that to the universe and other people.
Yeah. You will always mirror. It will bring forward what you are, so you got to work on you first.
Yes.
Clearing. So people will often ask us, how do I clear my office, my home? What are some crystals that you recommend? And there's always a few go-tos. One trick that I learned was if it's a black crystal, that generally means that it'll be something that will absorb negative energy. So we've got the rough obsidian, so black obsidian, black tourmaline works, and selenite is a self-cleaning oven.
Yes.
And so what I always tell people is you can take a piece of selenite and just put your handy-dandy crystal either on or near it, and the selenite will clear it. And so if it's a place where you constantly kind of need the clearing of the energy, I would put the combination of this in a few different places so that it can constantly pull negative energy out. Is that what you guys have felt has worked best for that?
Yeah, I do. I love obsidian and selenite together. I know that I keep the selenite in my windowsill with with some rose petals and salt. But it's really the selenite. We sell that here, and I know I grab those little teeny ones that we have, and I put them right in the windowsill, and that helps just keep the energy from coming in and out of the windows.
It's huge for house clearing. When I go to clear houses, I give people a little package, and that's either going to have some oils in it or some sage, and it's going to have some selenite in it, and a little white candle. And so, and sometimes depending upon their toxicity, I use a shungite or an obsidian. And just even in that little package, they can carry that in their house or set that intent with that candle and continue with that clearing of, and self-love, so they can let that love in, and adding other things like Palo Santo to it. But it just amplifies that.
Yeah. Another good transmuter, because the two of them are a great pair. So one transmutes the energy and one absorbs the negative energy, whereas smoky quartz actually is a natural transmuter of negative energy. So it'll take in the negative energy and transmute it automatically. This is a phantom smoky quartz with hematite in it. This is what I keep by my bedside.
I'm just taking a few notes. Perfect. Because I'm the one that orders the crystals around here, so I gotta know what in the world I'm doing. Okay, so let's talk about psychic gifts. So peacock aura, we've talked about. If somebody wants to enhance their intuition, their psychic abilities, what would be a few of the crystals you'd recommend to bring in more of those gifts? Because peacock aura, I mean, we sell that. We also talked about quartz.
Quartz is good, and also if you're looking to connect with spirit, which is you're developing your gift, connecting to your higher self, that would be apophyllite. Apophyllite is a great stone. It's also known as the Reiki stone. It's an amplifier it's also connection to the angelic realm. I know that any other crystal that is clear quartz is going to help with the crown chakra. Purples are good for the third eye.
Doing grids, having grids, meditating with them. If you're meditating, having them in your hands, or having them like an organite around with the crystal and the gold in it, or the grid around you and surrounding you, just to simply help empower that. And bring that in. So the more you open up, the less you'll need.
Okay.
Yeah, that's so true.
And with a career job, going back to, because I know some of you are going to go, well, I want a new job, or I hate my job. So if you hate your job, I'd go back to like the dark stones or the smoky quartz and the selenite. But if you really want to manifest the passionate job that you want, I think it really goes back to the root chakra again, but then also, what is it that's holding you back? If it's self-love, you'd want to go rose quartz. So I just want to point that out, that as we talk about these crystals and what the properties may lend themselves to, it's important to know where your gap is. Why aren't you attracting that job that you actually want? So go back to the root cause. But yeah, just keep that in mind. So
are you doing that cycle? That continuous cycle, it's like jobs are like relationships. You'll have to get that same kind of job with the same kind of boss in the same situation, no matter where you go, because you're always there. So remember that there's something you have to cut that cord and finish. And so you can even put the obsidian or the shungite in your pocket. And leave that there, so you can kind of keep that aura around you, keep yourself protected from that, and so you can also put like a quartz or a shungite in there too, or a selenite in your pocket, and that way you can figure out what do you need to protect and where's that love that you need to send, so you can cut that cord and finish that, and then manifest the ultimate job that you need.
Yeah. It's really just making sure that you have your vibration higher, and that's what all these crystals do. They help resonate with a certain chakra that needs the assistance and into raising your vibration and keeping you in alignment with what you're meant to do in that moment.
Perfect. One quick note on the citrine, going back to that for a moment. we talked about briefly this morning that the heat-treated citrine is probably your go-to for joy and for big happiness.
Yeah.
So would that be your suggestion for joy? And
citrine is one of the most common to go to for joy. I know that I love apophyllite, and another one of my favorites for joy is celestite. It's very angelic, but it reminds me of, it really resonates with the throat chakra and being able to talk about what makes you happy and sharing that with the world, and that's part of it. But if I was to put these two together, these make me happy.
Yeah. They look like a beautiful pair.
Yeah.
They look like they want to be together.
Yeah, they're very, this is very angelic. I mean, celestite is one of the ones that's known very highly of connecting to the angelic realm along with apophyllite together.
And I just want to quickly go over a few of these other ones that we talked about so people have a frame of reference. Family harmony, we talked about malachite. Stress, lepidolite. And that one, lepidolite, is the purple one. Am I saying it right?
Lepidolite.
Okay, perfect. It has lithium in it. And you can sit there and kind of rub it. And sometimes I'll pass them out in a meditation class that I'm teaching and just have them hold it if they feel like they just need to kind of balance and be in the moment. But we were talking about that crystal being able to help you determine what's real and what's not real.
Yeah.
So those are really, and they're fairly inexpensive, but we'd recommend that for stress if you're feeling like really overwhelmed. Manifestation, iron pyrite, which broke into a few different pieces. The natural citrine, tiger's eye, which I think we were talking about at the beginning of the video. Grounding, hematite, and argonite, which is this little, I think this is argonite, right?
Yeah, argonite is good for grounding, but it's also good for connecting spiritually. And it is for the root chakra because of the deep reds in it.
These are really cool. I love the look of those. EMFs, if you want to protect yourself from the technology and the EMFs that are coming in, we hear more and more about that. Shungite. You also said Himalayan salt.
Himalayan salt. So you can put it on you or near your computer. Anything, EMFs, things like that. It has the negative ions which clear the positive ions that the computer sets out. And so it's good at also if you place it on a pain point in your body, it's good at absorbing that. You can take it internally too. And so you have that crystalline energy inside you.
Okay.
And it just clears, and it also helps if you're dehydrated. And so it's just got these wonderful things. There's these great caverns that they use, Himalayan salt caverns for helping people in with deep illnesses. So there's a lot of research on that.
I used to go to caves in Montana, and that's a whole other episode, but I used to take my grandmother there, and we would go there in the summer, and we would go 90 feet underground and sit in caves. And she swore by them. She had a disease that they told her would kill her within 8 years, and she lived for over 30 years with it. And she says that those caves that she went into that were all natural property and healing, that the government thinks is like a huge, horrible sham, and she swore by them. So how much of it was the brain and intention and how much of it was the natural surroundings, we'll never really know maybe, but they were fascinating. So
they're awesome. If you can go into a crystal cave and go in there, just take a hike in there or a quick walk in there.
Yeah.
The energy is just empowering, and the joy and the connection that people have just in the group of walking within the cave is awesome.
I agree.
And the natural ions that actually come from being in that deep in the earth, the natural electro ions and neurons and all of that, that's what helps us. I tell my clients sometimes to go dig a hole in their backyard. I'm not kidding. I'm 100% serious. Dig a hole in your backyard, fill it with water, and then put the dirt back into the water and make a mud pie, and because the water is the conductor of energy.
Yes.
And stick your feet in it. And that is
wow,
the most
that's
healing.
the first time I've heard that.
I swear. I used to wonder why I made
You
mud
heard
pies.
it here first.
I know.
it's
make
that
mud
earth connection and
yeah.
the crystalline energy and that intent you can set in the water, which of course there's so much research on that water intention and the positivity that it has on you.
So let's go over blue aventurine. Is that how you say it?
Adventuring.
What is it?
Adventuring.
Adventuring?
Adventuring, yep.
Adventure. Okay, well,
Yeah, blue adventuring.
Blue adventuring. Okay,
Blue
so
rocks.
yeah, blue rocks. If you need help speaking up, which I know a lot of you watching are like holding something in and you just don't know how to say it or how somebody's going to take you, this is your rock. Okay, so we wanted to point that out because I'm sure some of you were going to have questions about it.
Yeah.
Speak your truth.
Speak your truth. Okay, how do you clear crystals? Let's quickly go over, like, somebody at home and they want to know, how do you quickly, other than like putting them next to, what in the world is this?
Selenite.
Too many crystals. I can't keep track of all of these. Okay.
Any element. You can use pretty much any element. Selenite does have there's a lot of rumors about water, dissolving selenite.
It doesn't dissolve that fast because it's been
doesn't.
sitting at the bottom of my bathtub for months.
Yeah,
But it does dissolve.
It does dissolve eventually.
Yeah.
But
It's just very soft.
yeah.
But you can use water. You can use fire. You can use. You can bury them in the earth. You can bury them in dirt, and a lot of them, like the wind. You can use the moonlight to charge and clear the crystals.
Some people put them in the sun. Using a sage spray.
Yeah, this would not be. These quartz-based crystals like these are not good to put in the sun because it will naturally fade their color.
Okay.
So just I don't want someone to be like, oh, she told me to put them in the sun and now they're all white. But no, yeah, these will fade in the sun. Don't leave them in the car either.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
And then how do you use the oils to bring about more of the quality of the crystal?
So the oils have a frequency, and so here with this oil, the young living oils that we use, they have a therapeutic grade, and so it's a higher frequency, and it's all oil. And so use something pure, use good intention, and I use that, just a drop of that in your hand, rub it in, and just anoint yourself with the oil. I use it on my clients. I use it in my Reiki sessions. I diffuse it. And just the amplification of the plants and the crystals and the oils together, it just intensifies. Even with music, like in a Karuna Reiki or anything like that, you're just intensifying that state that you're in, and it brings it up even more. And if you just want to amplify, and it's something small that you can just add, and it's not expensive. And so you can just add that in your water. You can put it on your body. There's just 1,000 ways to do it. And it just helps bring that intention up and that ascension out there.
Perfect. And if you want more information on the oils or Nicole's recommendations on what oils to use with what crystals, just drop us a comment or send us a private message, and I'd be happy to connect you with Nicole to get that information. And lastly, we talked about using crystals to connect with the angelic realm. So do you have any final words you want to say on that?
Yeah, just the apophyllite, what we have already covered. Apophyllite is one of the ones that connect you to the angelic realm. Celestite and Angelite. Angelite is also a blue milky color. And, Moldavite really does help with the connection to the angelic realm. Herkimer diamond is one of that will connect you. And also, as you are using all these high vibrational stones, please make sure you're using a grounding stone too, as a darker stone.
So what would be like a grounding stone that you would tell them to use, like the argonite or?
My favorite is Mookaite jasper. This was a gift to me, but you can get these in a tumbled version, rough, and in any way you want. But Mookaite is what is known as the mother stone of the earth. I just love it. It brings in the element of water and earth, so those are the more nurturing elements. It's grown in river rock, near river rock, and not grown but formed. And so it carries those properties and those elements for healing. It's one of my favorites.
That's
grounding
beautiful.
and nurturing. It's that mother.
Because how could you pick a favorite out of all of these? Yeah, we won't.
I'm taking them all home.
Well, obviously, these are my collection. You think I can choose?
No. It's like picking a favorite kid.
Oh, and connection as well. You said connection. Merlinite. Mystic Merlinite is very grounding and connecting at the same time. And these are my meditation tools.
Okay.
So I use them as tools too. Yeah.
Perfect.
Awesome.
And then I think we have a question that came in from a viewer.
Yeah, you mostly covered most of them, but one person said anything for health and healing, and I mean, they kind of all are in a way, but if you wanted to just elaborate on that a little bit, maybe.
Maybe to set like the intention for allowing yourself healing and...
I do know of a crystal that actually helps with like physical pain, and it's hematoided quartz. The quartz is an amplifier of this red hematite that's in quartz, and it helps with physical pain, and it actually helps with cellular for the blood, for
So say the name of it again.
I think it's hematoided quartz. I hope I'm saying it right, but I know it's a very milky quartzy color, and it has like striations of red in it. That's the hematite. If you can look closely, I hope people can see that's hematite, the red in this smoky quartz, and this would be an example of what I'm trying to say. But this is smoky. The only reason I call it smoky is because it's a darker brown. But this would be an example of hematoided quartz because it's quartz with hematite in it.
Okay, got it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You can always go to the easiest one to get is Himalayan salt. It's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do that just placing that on the body or taking it internally. And that helps absorb and take neutralize those ions, which kind of add that toxicity to the body and just help absorb it. Just that salt just absorbs any of that pain or that stress, or it helps ease things as well.
Okay.
And so it's just an easy and cheap way, kind of a go-to for me. It's let people know, because these sometimes you have to search and find that connection.
Okay.
And so if you go into a crystal shop, it's just like overpowering, because which one do you start with? You want to take everyone home, so that's always an easy one to get.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for the question, whoever submitted that, and hopefully that provided you with the insight that you were looking for. And thank you to my fabulous co-hosts, Brandy and Nicole, today. Of course, if you want more information about what we do at Spirit and Spark, whether it's here in person in our Las Vegas location or over the phone, please visit spiritandspark.com. More information is there. We have a lot of classes that we have on there, and of course, all of our private sessions and Virginia's horoscopes, which are great. So visit the website and let us know how we can help you. And until next time, enjoy the rest of your day. And thanks so much for joining us. Bye, everybody.